I don't think they're dead yet.
They're not dead, but
it's going to put a huge onus on these guys. And I think it's going to put a huge onus on goals from defenders, albeit set pieces we've talked about a lot, but goals from the middle of the park.
Yeah.
You know, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Mikel Merino when he plays. If you haven't got it in the front line, you need to be chipping in from other positions. That's why it was so important over the years for the Liverpools to have the Gerrards, for Chelsea to have the Frank Lampards. You know, guys that would, when your striker, which wasn't often for the case of, you know, Chelsea and Didier Drogba, but when guys were having a harder time or were injured, they were getting goals from the middle of the park, and that either kept them in the hunt or got them over the line. And that's probably the only way Arsenal are going to chase Liverpool down.
I agree it's not dead, but if you look at it rationally, we're saying that, or we've been saying that Arsenal are in second place and not first because they don't have a proper centre-forward. But the guy who we've criticised is now out for the rest of the season. My goodness,
yeah.
What kind of position?
It was interesting, Jules, as well. I was looking at the fixtures. When do they play Liverpool? Maybe that could be a... But they don't play them until, I think it's the third final game of the season for Arsenal. Yeah. And in theory, it could be all done and dusted by then.
Yeah, it could. I mean, by then, Saka will be back. And again, I think right now, when you look at the picture, or the bigger picture even from an Arsenal point of view, the hope is that Bukayo Saka comes back as quickly as possible, fit, and then firing as quickly as possible too, and then try to carry this team and be decisive again. But we don't know in what kind of fitness he will be when he comes back. We don't know exactly when he will come back either, to be fair. So there will be the Champions League too that comes in. At least there's no FA Cup anymore. There's no League Cup either, the final to play. But the Champions League will use a lot of the energy as well from the players that are still there, fit and available. And that will be difficult to manage as well. So we'll have to see. I agree with Craig completely. That's the other point I would have made. Some of the goals missing right now are the goals from Martin Odegaard. He was 15 2 years ago. I think he was 10 last season. He's only on 1 or 2 yet so far this season. And yeah, he had the injury, but he will have to step up. Others will have to try to carry the responsibility. But suddenly that Saturday game away at Leicester, which before would have looked, okay, this is a normal game for top teams in England, but now looks massive because if you do well, if your forward line of, we expect Trossard, Nwaneri and Sterling do well, suddenly the confidence, the boost going into the other fixtures coming up probably would be easier. If you don't win or if your forward line doesn't do well on Saturday, then that will add even more pressure.
As soon as he said Saka, and when he comes back and he's going to do this and that, my mind went straight to Mo Salah last season.
Right.
When he was out for a lengthy period, the same as Saka as this year, and when he came back, he was horrible.